Okay.
There you go. Okay, so explain again.
Yeah, here they are, the lobsters being washed up, look. And they just look, at first appearance, you think maybe they've died, but when you pick them up, you can realise there is still life in them. So once you can get them back into the tanks, and that's a massive lobsters all washed up there together. And this is just, the 7 boxes you're looking at there is just what I and me and my dog brought back on our own. That was just the volume of it all. So like 2, 4, 6, 7 fish boxes full, waiting to go in through that door, which is inside the lobster tank area, look, where they've got bubbles and air circulating through them and seawater that revives them back to life.
So that's all water in those tanks?
That's water in the tanks, yeah. And if you see the colour of the water that was coming out of them was dirty and brown because they'd been thrown up by the waves. And that's Jack, our son, and his friend. They're in there, look, looking after the lobsters while they were in there before they put them back on their fishing boats and took them back out to sea and re-released them. So that was a good day's work.
And Jack said there were they took out 2,000 ton? Would that be right?
No. About between 2 and 3 ton.
Okay.
But 2 and 3 ton of baby lobsters is a lot of lobsters. And that's the scale of them. Look how small they are in Jack's hands.
Oh my goodness.
That one there is probably not much bigger than a prawn, look.
Yep.
But that would grow to a monstrous lobster, maybe this big. That could have lived to be 50.
Oh. Wow.
50-year-old, yeah. So it was a good story, really. That's a piece of that little bit. There's a ship that went down during the gales, a small boat. The guys were saved off it. They were very, very lucky to be saved.
Just last week?
Just last week,
yeah.
Oh
my gosh, wow.
Yeah, that's just a little bit of the wreckage that was left, and it's washed up on the beach.
So they got caught in the storm? They didn't...
Yeah,
but should have come
there
in?
There was another boat not far from them which picked them up, and, it could have been a disastrous story, but it turned out okay, because there was a boat not far away. But they were in the water for 10 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
How many on the crew?
There was only 2 of them, so they were very lucky. And this was a scene yesterday. I went down to the same place. Look, there's Flatfish, look, dead. I went down to the same place yesterday, and what's left now is just emptying dead shells. Oh. But it just shows you that there's still... I think if our lads took maybe away 3 ton, you could say there'd be at least another 3 ton that's,
didn't make it.
that we can't account for.
Yeah.
It's been really a bit like a local tsunami,
Mm-hmm. Right.
Everything just got a little bit overpowering. Big shame, but that's nature, isn't it?
It is.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's nature's way maybe of culling things a little bit,
Right.
It's just, it really hurts when you see it, but there's not a deal we can do. It's out of our control, isn't it?
So what will happen to all this debris on the beach?
Well, the seagulls will peck away at it until there's nothing left, really.
Okay.
And then another sea will come. The wind will be blowing from a different direction, and it'll probably take it back out to sea.
Oh, okay.
So it's just nature's way of,
And that's your dog?
That's my dog Ted. Yeah, he's a bit of a sea dog. He lives down there with me most of the time.
Okay.
Yeah, he's